Hey there, grab your coffee and let's talk business. How to grow it, how to sustain it, and how to harness the wonderful World Wide Web to do it. With me, your host, Jennifer Sikowski. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Rainy Day Talks. And today I have my sister from across the pond, literally, Miss Stephanie Campanella with me this morning. Welcome.
Hello, Jen. Thank you for having me.
We've been really trying to work this out for a while now, and it has officially happened. Like, we are here.
I was super guilty. I'm like, I really hope Jen doesn't think I'm avoiding her or anything, but I'm in. I'm all in. I just need to make the point and fill out the form.
Hey, I just want to be remembered, like for those that don't know Stephanie. So I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself, but she started out as the tradies queen, niched herself as the go-to person for tradies in the marketing realm in Australia. And since then has built another business, her own personal brand, as Nailing Your Niche, right? And so in a very short amount of time. Let's talk about that. So tell me a little bit about how you got started with the tradies world and how you decided to bridge that gap into launching your own personal brand.
Yeah. So, I was in that webmaster, dev and design sort of world. And, I think I was about 2 years in, and I just realized I need to niche. Like, I need a strong point of difference. I need a customer that I'm going to work with again and again and again. So that I stopped wasting my time, changing hats and jumping from accountant to hairdresser to, to waxing salon. Like, it's ridiculous. I just wanted to deal with one type of customer who had one type of problem. So then, I niched and I built Tradies Get Online, and it's just been phenomenal. So my experience there, I've packaged up. And I'm sharing that with people all around the world because, I really strongly believe that if you niche or niche, as they say in the States, you're going to penetrate the market so much faster. You're going to be able to get, to get really known in the niche as you're going deep, not wide. So, I cannot recommend picking a niche, picking a vertical and just going all in.
So how did you pick tradies?
My dad's actually a brickie.
Yeah? So it was more hey, I know this field, or?
Well, I know the field, yeah. So when I was like 12, the tradies would all turn up at the place on Friday afternoon and come for their checks. And I'd help Dad, make sure all the checks went out and they all got paid. And, I helped him with a bit of admin and this kind of thing. So I knew of the trade niche really well. I also had surveyed my customers over those first 2 years, and 35% of my customers were trades. Like, they were builders, they were electricians, they were plumbers, all this kind of stuff. So it just made sense to just quickly rip the Band-Aid off and do it.
That makes sense.
I should note that we've literally just built a new niche to go along with the course launch.
Yeah.
And we've niched into hair, beauty, and body marketing. So we're about to dominate that entire niche now as well.
But that's amazing. So you took basically your own process, built another business, another brand.
Yeah.
And are going to use that as basically the case study or how you did it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. To basically show people, because there's so much fear around niching.
Come on.
I keep correcting myself here. There's so much fear around, is it going to work, or am I going to have enough customers? What if I don't like my niche? What if they can't afford me? These are all things that we can totally debunk. And I wanted to show people how quickly you can get a business up following my process, and then start generating some sales. So we just picked a niche. Boom, hair, body, beauty, done. Like, let's be those people. Let's build a site. Let's make it super simple. Let's actually talk to our customers. Yeah, I could go on forever about this.
Yeah, well, let's talk about fear, because that's something that we come up against with a lot of the business owners, especially when they're at that point where they need to branch out or they've tapped into the digital world. They might have a website, they might have a Facebook page, but they really haven't launched online. But we're finding that there's fear that's holding them back because they don't want to be like everyone else, or maybe their competitors are doing it better, or
Yeah.
they start putting up all these walls. So how would you tell someone who is going down that path, whether it's they've just launched or they're trying to figure out what area of business, what industry to get in? How would you tell them to knock that down?
First things first is, doesn't matter if there's someone sitting right next to you doing the same thing. And it doesn't matter if there's people that are out there doing it longer than you or if you think they're better than you. They aren't you. So they're just never going to be you. So that is your edge. So if you just be yourself and get yourself out there, then you're going to have success. So that's the first thing to completely strike, for the record. Once you seriously, you want to launch and you want to go deep in a channel, I think a lot of people, there's oh, who are your customers? I'm oh, well, they're they're 35 to 65-year-old females. Oh, great. That's a great customer, because surely a 35-year-old is completely different to a 65-year-old. I mean, I went to the gym and had a really healthy breakfast this morning as a 35-year-old. I'm sure my mom is still sleeping, you know what I mean? And she's 65. So they are two very different customers. So in order to really get close to your market and to actually start marketing and building desire for your brand in your customers' eyes, you need to get real close to them. I think what we don't recognize, or we fail to recognize, is that even you love the gym too, right? Mm-hmm. There's all these different sort of sporting brands. There's Under Armour and Nike and Adidas and gosh, I mean, look, yeah, there's so many. Each one of those brands, although you might see them as, sports gear or, sporting activities or, they're sports brands, so to speak, they're all completely unique and they all have different kind of customers that they're trying to attract, Like here in the Australian market, Adidas is real urban, it's maybe not someone that, CrossFits, for example. It's someone more urban, that kind of sweat. Nike is more of a classic worker outer. Under Armour is real gritty and masculine and stuff. So, even when you go, oh, I'm going to do the sporting niche, you're well, what sort of customer do you want to have? You got to really dive in much deeper to really connect with your audience and then really have success.
That's good. Gosh, we could talk right there just by dialing into your customer. That's a whole conversation in itself. So coming from that step, okay, so we've narrowed down, we've picked. What about that fear that creeps in is, what if I chose the wrong one? What if I'm limiting myself? That's another conversation that comes up when we start talking about this.
So two things here. What happens if I don't like my niche? So guess what? You don't have to marry your niche. I like to tell people that you want to stick to it for 90 days. So make it a 90-day challenge, 1 quarter. What do you got to lose? It's 1 quarter of the year that you're going to really try and nail this niche, yeah? And if you don't like it, you simply walk away. There's no court documents or divorce lawyers needed. Right. You just dump it and walk away. A lot of people ask, well, what should I do with my website? Should I completely change my website? Should I rebuild a website? Should I go brand new? It's if you can build a website in a week, then build a brand new website for your niche. Otherwise, if it's going to take you 6 months to faff around with design and colors and all this sort of, just leave it. just build a page and start getting yourself out there and get your message out there. So yeah, you don't have to get married to the niche. Give it 90 days. Your second question was around fear. What if I get bored? Again, you don't have to marry the niche. And there's a fear around, are they the right one? Can they even afford me? Does this niche even have any money? This is a massive question that comes up. With every single market, there is a top of the market and a bottom of the market. So you just got to make sure that your marketing talks to your customer, at what level they're willing to spend, to jump into pricing. Like you just need to price your service so that you can offer the service, you can be profitable, and there's some money left over and you're paying taxes and your wages and all that sort of stuff, right? So you got to price yourself accordingly. So then depending on what price you are, it's going to depend on what sort of customer is going to buy from you. If someone's only earning $100,000, they're not going to be able to afford a $50,000 marketing budget, because that's 50% of everything that they've got and there's nothing left over. So that's a massive, you're like, I don't know if the niche has really got any money. There is always the bottom of the market and the top of the market. It's up to your marketing messages for you to find that perfect customer that is going to meet, it's going to meet exactly what you do.
Yeah. And I find the best place to start looking for that is to get online, right? Like, did you spend time in like Facebook groups? Did you, like, when you started doing your research into Validate, did you start making sure that your messaging matched up, or were you just like all in? Did you just go anyways, or like how did you validate that? Yeah.
I just jumped straight in.
Listeners.
Well, I mean, this is 2013, so there wasn't really Facebook groups. I had a Facebook page, definitely. I don't even know if Instagram was out then. And if it was really early days. So I just ripped the Band-Aid off and went all in. I know that I had already made some great customers already. So if I can make one great customer, I can duplicate that customer and find another one exactly the same, because they are out there. And that's the thing. Once you identify exactly who you're working with, it's like that yellow cab scenario, like or yellow car. What do you say? I'm really looking for a yellow Corvette, and then all you do is see yellow Corvettes everywhere you go. It's because it's at the top of your mind. So until you actually pick your customer and you know them intimately, you might say, it's going to be very hard for your brain to spot exactly who you're looking for. But once you do, it's like that yellow cab or the yellow Corvette. You're going to see it everywhere.
Game on.
Game on. Let's do this.
Game on. Well, and I don't want to take too much away, because I do, if you are listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this information, we are going to drop the Nail the Niche join landing page where you can get all the details and get on the wait list, correct? Because it is coming. That course is coming. So talk a little bit about the course. Like, what's going to happen? Like, what can people expect from the course? What can they learn? How long is it? Give me the the nitty gritty.
So, the nitty gritty is Nail the Niche. It's a 6-week course. You'll get one-on-one. It's group mentoring with myself. You'll get the access to the community, and you'll get access to all the course, content. Now, the thing here is, I'm going to help you walk through in 6 weeks and change your business completely. I got a lot of people that are sitting on the fence, and they're not quite sure how they're going to market their business. They're not, they're relying on word of mouth, and word of mouth can't be controlled. It's not like a tap that you can just turn on and then boom, you've got clients. You actually need a marketing funnel in place so that you can, when you need, turn on leads, so to speak, using the internet, because the internet is the most amazing tool ever. There's nothing worse than running around doing networking events. Like, there's only so many handshakes you can make that night, and so many cards you can throw in someone's face. So I'm going to show you my process of exactly how we put a website together, exactly how we work out the messaging. I've actually got a freebie that I can give you guys that's 300 brilliant niches to dive into, handpicked. I sort of looked at every single one of them and I thought, yes, these are all very good, profitable niches that if you went all in, you're going to be safe. It's basically from A to Z, exactly how, if you're brand new in business and you're not sure how to approach that whole piece of marketing and connecting with your customer, or if you're 10 years in business and you're still dragging the chain from a lead generation perspective, this is going to fix your lead generation issues. it's gonna help you connect with a customer. It's gonna fix all your messaging. It's gonna fix your site and all the stuff that you need on your website, because there's a certain structure that I like to roll with that I've tested and worked. And also, like, you know, in terms of content, like putting yourself out there, what's that next step? How to amplify and actually get that lead generation piece coming in.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Well, check out the show notes. Now, I want to shift. I'm going to take a quick right turn. So we've been talking about what you do. Let's talk about you behind running the business and how you show up. Because once again, we're talking to business owners. I'm a business owner. You know, I could talk about this stuff all day long. How do you set yourself up for success every day? Like, how do you start your morning? Are you a morning routine kind of girl? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm a morning routine kind of spreadsheet girl. So I start my day with a warm glass of water with my parents have a lemon tree and they give me like 20 lemons. So I've like squeezed all this lemon juice into these jars that I keep in the fridge. So every morning I'll pour a little bit of fresh lemon juice in a glass of hot water, a little bit of salt, and that's the first thing I do every single day. If I don't do that, I know that, like, my body tells me all day, oh, I feel flat and yuck and disgusting. So I know when I've done my lemon juice and when I haven't. So that's the first thing. The second thing is either I go to the gym, which I did this morning, or I'll take the dog for a walk. I want to try and get some fresh air into my lungs and, you know, see the world, so to speak. I think when you go straight from bed to breakfast to your desk, like 95% of the entire population, I think your mental state isn't as positive, and you don't feel like you can take over the world. You know, you can win whatever you're currently tackling. So I find getting outside, going for a walk, it's the endorphins, right? It's the same as going, you know, for a workout. You just instantly feel a lot better and you feel stronger and you've got clarity. And then you get to your desk and you're like, right, what's my to-do list? What's the hardest thing? I'm going to do that first. So yeah, that's like, they're two big parts of my morning. Of course, I will try and eat a good, balanced, healthy breakfast with some fats, some good fats, some protein, and then some complex carbs as well. Like I'm, you know, rather health conscious.
Sure.
You know, you got to nourish your body, get your body going. So yeah, that's kind of my morning routine.
Because I'm finding, especially with people that we're interviewing and people that are successful, and, you know, like myself, that you have to start off, you have to start off the morning. Like, you have to have your own rituals, however the day goes, you have tomorrow to try again. And it's like, and that's because I've been trying to shift my habits, and that's tough. Like, creating new habits is tough. How do you create a new habit? Or how have you changed your habits?
It's so funny. In the gym this morning, I turned up, I got there. It's still a little bit cold in Sydney. So I had a few layers on and I was slowly peeling the layers as I was getting warm. And one of the coaches in the gym, Claudia, I said, hey, morning, Claudia. You know, how you going? I'm like, you know, I'm just here to try and do my best. And she said, and it was the most awesome, you know, 30 seconds of my morning already today. But she just said, like, all you can do is be your best self for today. Just try to be your best today, because tomorrow is a brand new day. So if this is all you've got today, then that's fine, because you can always go again tomorrow. So
that's good.
I was like, damn.
You're not even like fully there yet and you're already getting it.
Yeah, exactly. No.
That's good. I keep this little reminder for those that are listening and not viewing. I have a sticky note that I want to be better than I was yesterday. So every day I have that right in front of me. So whether it's the days that I'm in the office or I just happen to pop in between, you know, wrangling munchkins, it's like, okay, today I just want to try to be better than I was yesterday. Yeah. And if I can do better, be better, show up better, it's a good
You've
day.
accomplished something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said to my husband, because we've moved house and everything's kind of shifted. And I said, look, I would really love to bring back accountability Sundays, because then we can set goals for our individual, sort of purpose or pathway that we want to take ourselves on. And every Sunday we would come together and we would sort of work out, right, what are we going to achieve? If we do nothing this week, what's the one thing we're going to get done and actually achieve? And I was like, babe, we've got to bring this back, because there's 52 chances every single year to make this an even better year than what it was last year. And I was like, we are kicking ourselves if we don't hold ourselves accountable, even as partners. So, yeah, I'm lucky. I've got the most amazing husband.
I love that. What a great idea to bring your spouse into it. Oh my gosh. My spouse, it's currently 9:45 here, and he's probably sleeping. But I'm going to be like, hey, guess what? I got a new phone.
Babe, I need to chat to you right now.
Yeah. I try to wait till morning, but there are occasions where I have to run in and be like, I just had this idea. And that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, I'm big on always trying to consume knowledge, right? Always looking ways to grow, always learn. What am I bringing in? What are you reading right now? Are you a reader? And or do you listen to books? Like, what do you do and what are you listening to right now?
So I'm not, I'm a reader, but I don't read the book. I have Audible as I'm just launching up. Now I'm very excited because I just I pre-booked Marie Folio, Everything is Figure-Outable. I'm a massive fan of Marie Folio. Yes. So that I'm really excited to get that. That's actually dropping on the 13th of September, I think, which is just before my wedding anniversary, and we're about to go away. So that's what I'm going to read while we're away. What else am I reading here? Oh, okay. So I took a little break from business books, because I only ever read business books. I read The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. She was the author that wrote Big Little Lies, the TV series with Nicole Kidman and now Meryl Streep. So that was a good break. I've got Dr. Joe Dispenza in here, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Dr. Joe had a massive back injury, and he cured himself with his mind. And a client of mine said, you got to love Joe Dispenza, And I was like, okay, what is this? So that was good. Ready, Fire, Aim, 0 to 100 million in no time flat. Oh, there we go.
I saved that one. That was when you had shared a couple along the way, and I was like, ooh, screenshot that.
Yeah, Your Best Year Ever, Michael Hyatt. That wasn't bad. A very quick read. The One Thing, of course, Gary Keller. Own the Day, Own the Night, Aubrey Marcus. I cannot recommend this book enough.
What was that one again?
Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. I was really surprised by this. It was phenomenal. And the one last one I'll share is Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to Living a Long and, what does it say? I have to download it to actually... Anyway, it's by Hector Garcia. Ikigai, Akigai. It's basically, why do Japanese people live so long? Like, what do they do? And their skin's so good and they're so happy. So that was a really good read to kind of put greatness in your forefront and, green tea and health. And it was a good read, quick read, but a good read.
Good.
So yes, I'm an audiobook. I'm on the run. I move quick, so I can't sit down and read a book. I listen through my ears.
I like it. I do.
Anywhere else that I could listen.
No, I like it. I'm a big fan of Audible, because I'll get to the point where the kids are like, Mommy, what book are we listening to? And so I figure it can't hurt them, right?
No,
they're just getting that business early on. But well, before we wrap up today, which I feel like has been very productive, we've talked about so much, especially with nailing your niche, because obviously that is your jam. And it's so important. So what happens next? You're getting ready to launch your course. Can you let us in on the secrets of Stephanie Campanella's next steps? Is there something that you're working on that we could look forward to seeing?
Yeah, I mean, so we're about to launch Nail the Niche. So that's about to open doors and bring people in. And we're, they'll be in the show notes and that kind of stuff. There's also a strategic hiring course I'm about to launch. So, I love, maximizing my time and being in my sweet spot. That doesn't mean that I'm, designing websites or any of that stuff that I used to do. So I'm a bit of a boss when it comes to hiring team members.
Yeah, you are.
Bring a process in for that and a short course to get more people duplicating themselves and hiring what I like to call their junior lady boss, because I think that's the most important role in any business. So yeah, among other things, they're probably the two big ones: the Nail the Niche course, how to actually turn lead generation on, and then the second piece there is hiring a junior lady boss. Duplicating yourself. Elevate.
So elevate. That is so exciting, because that's what I'm currently working on, is building out our team, and we have a really great base right now, but we're scaling.
Yeah.
And you need to have that, because some wonderful woman who's super smart told me to hire before you drown, and showed up on. I was like, here we are. So that's awesome. I'm excited for you to step into that.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm really excited to bring just some products into the marketplace.
Yeah. Well, and you've been doing it, and now you're on your third, fourth business. I mean, who knows what's going to happen next?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Stephanie. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I'm super excited to see how successful your courses are. And
totally,
yeah. All right, lady. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, and thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Wow, what a great episode we just wrapped up with Stephanie Campanella. If you found that helpful and you are looking to nail your niche, definitely check out her website and her upcoming course launch. You can find it at stephaniecampanella.com.au/nail the niche. And also you can find it in our show notes, so make sure that you check that out. And if you did find it helpful, make sure to like us, leave us a review. Just take a screenshot of Raney Day Talks Podcast and tag me in it, #Raney Day Talks Podcast. I would love to hear from you. A huge thank you to Mark at Mark Levander Productions for sponsoring Season 1 of Raney Day Talks Podcast. I'm very particular who we partner with, and Mark was a no-brainer. Mark does all of our video editing and puts all of the components and pieces together for our YouTube channel and podcast. If you are looking to publish your own YouTube series, podcast, or need photography work, please contact Mark through marklevanderproductions.com.